Yo, yo, yo! And welcome to 2026. This is the very first live stream from Owl Eyez on BASE Defi, entering the new year, starting the year strong. I hope you guys had an incredible Christmas vacation and New Year's. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to chop it up and get into 2026 with my amazing co-host, Crypto Noah. Crypto Noah, how are you today? And how are you this fresh year?
Man, I'm just trying to stay warm. It was a very humble New Year's Eve. I had some plans, a couple of plans, but they all fell through, and I ended up just going to the snowy forest. I'm at my parents' house. Came back, my best friend pulled up, and yeah, man, can't complain. Got some good stuff to talk about, but first, y'all know I had to pack like 5 crypto shirts because I didn't know how long I was gonna stay. So I'm wearing one of the first crypto shirts I ever got, a classic.
Oh, wow.
This Bitcoin 09, straight classic. As we're coming up on Bitcoin's birthday of the Genesis block, so I figure I pay the old homage. So yeah, man, how you doing today, man? How's your New Year? I know you were traveling Europe.
Yeah, dude. I finished my road trip across Europe. Started in the south of Spain. Made my way up through it, then to France, then to Italy, then up to Austria, Hungary, and now Slovakia with the family. Been just eating too much, drinking too much. I mean, really, my portfolio didn't hit all-time high, but I did. And I'm
There you
like, so yeah, this year I've set myself a fitness challenge. Just get things right, with the weight. I actually want to do a marathon at the end of this year. That's the goal I'm setting myself. So yeah, just gotta take those steps to make it so. So
Hey, good luck, man. Yeah, that'd be cool. Me and my buddy, we got a workout in. I always do a workout on the first just to set the tone of the year. So I hit legs, which sucked, but it's all good, man.
I mean, dude, that's the way though. Get it, like do the hard thing, do the sucky thing. Like that completely sets the tone. So
Yep.
good for you, man.
Yeah. So, well, man, a lot's happened since we did our last show. I was feeling under the weather. You were traveling. It's been a couple of weeks, so we're back. The Base app is live, right? And there's been a lot of different things on Twitter that we're going to talk about. One thing I'll say is a lot of people think that the UI is not ready, but Peter Thiel of the PayPal Mafia did say that. I think it was him. He said if you're not embarrassed by the first iteration of your product, then you're doing something wrong. Basically trying to say that, user feedback is what shaped these products. The founders can only figure out so much. What's your thoughts on the Base app, man? I know you were telling me about some things on Twitter. How you seeing things playing out?
Well, I mean, I didn't actually hear that from Peter Thiel, but it's bang on. Yeah, I heard something else that sort of resonates as well, and it's like if the app is buggy, it's because you're early. It's not because it's a bad app, it's because you're early. So look at it, the glass half full. You're early to a new app where you can work with the team to point out the flaws and squash those bugs together. And for me, my journey with Fireside, building in public, man, first iteration was definitely embarrassing. And even now, we still get some issues, especially with like integration into the Base app. So my experiences so far on the Base app is that it's cool. It has some nice features. I definitely recommend people to be posting content on there. I actually got $25 today. Let's go for the week because I've been posting some content, daily. Not a lot, but just daily. I don't even get much engagement, to be honest.
You just posting content on the Base app, and this is separate from Zora, right?
It's separate from Zora. I mean, we can get into the whole Base app Zora sort of symbiosis in a bit, and I think they're looking to like merge more in the future.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be one. I didn't think it would be like Coinbase will have their own separate social media, because I remember they were saying Zora was powering the social media side. And I did verify that Zora did start as an L2 blockchain to make like NFT generation really, really cheap. So yeah, they're for sure a chain. But yeah.
Wait, so hang on. Have they already launched a Zora chain? Because I remember when you found that.
That I found an article
Hmm.
here. Let me share my screen. I won't go through like all of it or anything, but I'll just kind of give you the high level. Because we are doing our Know It Owls cohort. By the way, if you guys want to learn about all the fundamentals of crypto for free, click that link and join our free community. And we do our cohort every Tuesday and Thursday at, what is it, 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Eastern. And we have a lot of cool things in the works. But yeah, so this was from Bankless. Can you see my screen? Yeah, so this is, it says the Bankless Guide to the Zora Network. And this was written in October 6, 2023, right? So the Zora Network is a layer 2. So they were oh, well, I guess I got to subscribe, but they were a layer 2 network before they launched like their social media, like the Zora app that we all know and love. Yeah, man, this, when I look at it this way, it makes me realize that kind of competitors, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, they could have been. They could have been. I think right now they're very much in bed with each other. Um,
But they
I don't.
cheating.
They're cheating. Yeah. I do wonder a little bit about the relationship between Base App and Farcaster, because Farcaster is his own thing, but the Farcaster social powers the Base App social. But like in terms of like the Base App, yeah, I gave it its flowers. You know, it's got some nice things about it. You know, the the points where I personally feel like, you know, are in desperate need of improvement beyond like, you know, allowing audio so that Fireside can work. That's like the personal thing that I'm speaking with the base team directly about fixing. But the other big thing that they need to work on is the algorithm. Like who shows up on your timeline? Because I have a bunch of, you know, friends on base app. I don't really see their posts. I don't like most of my timeline is just people who I've never engaged with or don't follow. I'm like, what is like? I don't really understand how the algorithm is working right now. But as you said, as Peter Thiel said, I mean, there's room for improvement, and I think that's the goal. They're going to continuously reiterate and update and upgrade it. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of improvements throughout the year, and you know, over the past few days, I don't know if you've seen Brian Armstrong. He's been very active on Twitter, addressing some of the issues with the base messaging and this Nick Shirley token. I don't know. Have you?
I've heard about the Nick Shirley token, but what's been the underlying tone of what he's been saying?
So
Because Nick
it's
Shirley, he's been like reporting on live news on Zora live streaming, right?
I I don't even think so. I mean, if that is the case, I missed that. I mean, we're all somewhat on family mode, but um, so you know, Nick Shirley, the hottest creator right now, uncovering the Minnesota Learning Center for kids, and you know he got what 130 million views on X, you know, millions of views on YouTube, etc. You know, really again like retweeted by Elon dozens of times and Donald Trump. Like he's like the guy right now, especially in the terms of content creators. Well, he got onboarded onto Base App, and you know, Jesse was following him, Brian was following him, and it's like this is the Nick Shirley account, okay, but it was a full 24 hours before his official creator token went live, and within that time there was a fake Nick Shirley token that ran to like $250,000, and then Nick Shirley was like, "Oh, hey, that's not me, this is me," and then his token pumped to like 9 million in a day, and then dumped to like 1.5 the next day. And during that time, because it's Christmas period, there wasn't there wasn't like there was like one quote tweet from Brian, one post on the base app from Jesse, you know, one message from Jay Horn, the founder of Zora, and there wasn't really any messaging from Zora themselves. And it's like I think eventually Zora did get a tweet out. But the point was, this was the moment where the biggest creator comes on to Zora and can prove that the creator economy works. Like, 'cause we were all waiting for a Web2 viral creator to come on, and prove like, hey, open up the floodgates, show Web2 people like you made this crazy money doing this, and it was like very lackluster, the support, or just non-existent. And then the following day, when the Nick Shirley token was like trading around 2 million on BNB chain, finance chain, they set up an NSF, Nick Shirley Fund token, just some anon set up this token with the 5% buy sell tax. Like that's been around for ages. That's like as vanilla as it gets. But with that tax, they raised 3 times the amount for Nick Shirley as the creator coin did on Zora, and then it flipped the token, and it was like, guys, what the heck? This should have, no pun intended, surely should have been in the bag for Zora. Like the biggest creator comes onto the creator coin app. Where's the retweets? Where's the championing of this? You're gonna let some nobody outgun you on another chain. So the fact that over the past few months, many people came onto Base as Base is the builder's chain, and people got support. I got support early on, and I was like, very appreciative of that. And so many people got support, and it's fantastic. Jesse really he puts the time in, which I think he doesn't get enough credit for. But there's been a lot of single angle messaging towards creator coins. Base is the creator chain. It's like, well, hang on, what about all the builders who laid the foundations, who built cool apps and infrastructure that people use and generates funds and generates opportunities, stable coins, all that stuff? Like people that are really making an impact. It's like Ginger Stepchild, like just like off on the wayside, not really like in the spotlight. And lots of people have had the frustrations about that and feeling like, okay, well, at least if we have to trust Jesse, maybe like he knows best, like he's our fearless leader and he shows up for the community. All right, so this community, this content creator finally comes on, the moment we all are waiting for, to bring thousands of people onto Base to sort of come in via the content coin, via the creator, and then disperse across the chain. Like, oh wow, there's all these other great things to do here as well. But then none of that happens because it was just opportunity knocked and nobody answered, and it just frustrated the entire community. So this past day, the Twitter timelines have been full of OGs, day one builders who are just like, guys, what the heck? Like, we've been trying to tell you for ages, this ain't it. Like, you're forcing a square peg through a circle hole. And then I think today, like Brian Armstrong tweeted, like, I just had a 2-hour chat with Thread Guy. He got some great ideas because Thread Guy made a video like 2 days ago saying like, I'm never buying a creator coin again. That was a shit experience.
What?
And, yeah. And then Brian Armstrong had a 2-hour conversation with him on the phone. Whereas, and then that kind of like added fuel to the fire again, because a lot of people are like, what the fuck? Like, this guy's a Solana influencer / pump dumper, insider trader, and you make 2 hours to talk to him, whereas there's people who've been in Base longer than I have and have more of a reach, have done bigger things than I, who can't even get 5 minutes with the guy. It's rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way. But yeah, that's just that's what's happened the past 3 days.
Yeah, to be honest, man, and this might be a contrarian view, but it shouldn't be. I think people are just too impatient. So for all you guys watching who's upset, I want you to take your finger like this, stick it up the old ass, and pull the panties out, pull the underwear out, and just relax. This is how I think about it. These layer twos, and by the way, like Coinbase is the only Base app is not even competing with layer twos. It's competing with like Google Play Store and the Apple Store. It's like I look at it as digital real estate in cyberspace. So it's just like, basically, long story short, a spoiler alert for this point I'm about to make, they need to market this thing better. the 20, I forgot how many million they had for grants or whatever, but it's not enough. Coinbase is a public company. They need to put like hundreds of millions in marketing dollars. They need to go and talk to celebrities, because like if you look at it from the digital real estate and cyberspace standpoint, it's not a lot of people in this nation state we call BASE, right? So it's just like, even if LeBron James, who's one of the most famous people on earth, if they have like some kind of intramural recreational basketball game in some random gym that they don't tell anyone about, they don't put any marketing dollars, even if it's LeBron James, it's not going to get packed out because no one knows that he's there. So I think that, yeah, having creators come on, great, but there is also the adoption curve. Like, yeah, it's, even though it's kind of like Instagram and everything like that, like you still have to interact with the wallet. So there's still a little bit of a gap, right? And it's still not as interactive because you have to pay to do certain things, which I think will be good in the long run. But initially, it's not. Like, kind of like if you're going back to PayPal, when they launched PayPal, they paid everyone $10 to sign up. So everyone's like, oh shit, $10. What if Zora did something like that? Like, get $10 in free Ethereum, because people know what Ethereum is, instead of doing maybe Zora, because the Zora token would probably go in the shitter. So they need to take some of those dollars, buy some Ethereum, give everyone free Ethereum, maybe pay everyone to make a post, like one post or something like that. Like, they need to subsidize and start putting marketing dollars behind so they can get interaction up. So that way this thing can get momentum, and then it'll be able to take off on its own, but they're going to have to burn through some cash. Things like this, things that are this new, normally don't catch fire super fast, especially with no celebrities and people on it. I know we had the Shirley guy come on, but to be honest, I never heard of the guy. I've never heard of him. So,
well, I mean, to be honest, I don't think he's not a celebrity. He's just a citizen journalist who covered a massive news story. So I like, until Christmas Day, the two names didn't mean anything to me. But then after seeing the headlines, seeing the story, seeing the platforming from Elon and Donald Trump, and like watching like the clips of it, it's like, oh shit, this is outrageous. And I think because it was such an outrageous story, and he was the one who was, uncovering it, that's why he became an overnight celebrity.
Yeah. And then also, like with the whole creator coin meta, these creator coins don't operate in a closed vacuum. If you look at the rest of the market, it's down, right? So it's like, what's up, Henry? Woo! I don't know who Henry is, but he's in the building. If you look at, I'm over here wilding and I lost my train of thought. What was I saying?
It's not in a vacuum.
Oh yeah, so it's just like creator coins don't operate in a vacuum. Like, they're gonna be oscillators to Bitcoin and Ethereum, like everything else. Embryo Dolphin, we appreciate you per usual. Happy New Year. We love you so much. So it's just like,
and Sensei, okay.
Sensei, what's up, man? Appreciate y'all for restreaming it and hopping on. If you Congress went home early, right? And they basically put the Clarity Act on the shelf. And I really think that until ETH goes on a crazy rally and hits 6-7K, I'm not expecting crazy things from any sector of the market. Like, Ethereum is going to be, if a bull market is like waves, because as they say, a rising tide raises all ships. Well, Ethereum is the largest boat in the ocean. And once Ethereum moves, it's going to cause waves that's going to make everything rise more, versus, because the past like couple years, there's been like siloed bull markets. Like, we saw privacy run, we saw a little RWA pump, and a lot of these little silos that ran were kind of unpredictable. They just kind of happened on their own really quick, and it was no way to predict it, really. Like, yeah, you could have jumped on after it started pumping, but I don't know. It's probably just a few whales like congregating together to get shit jumping really quick. But until the Clarity Act passes, and they did say they want to have that done before Q1 is over. That's March. Hopefully they get it done in January, but I'm not really expecting anything crazy until that happens. But also, we also have to realize that there is a major shift that's happened, in that we've entered quantitative easing officially. They are buying bonds. The Federal Reserve is injecting money directly into banks. We already know interest rates are dropping globally. So when that happens, the Federal Reserve doesn't, they don't lower rates, then raise them, lower then raise. They'll might raise and pause or cut and pause, but they typically like to move in a consistent direction. And now that we have our lowest inflation rate read last month, like in a while, like we're not far from 2% inflation. And we have another Federal Reserve chair, as Jerome Powell is going to be out in May. And he basically said in so many words, he's going to do what Donald Trump says. Donald Trump is of the idea of printing money. He was talking about the trillions, billions we made from the tariff revenue, which, who knows if that's the actual amount, but it definitely is an increase in revenue. So it's just like the macro is shaping up in certain ways for us to have bullish conditions, but also shaping up in ways to have bearish conditions. Like the stock market's at all-time highs. Crypto moves with the stock market. It's not going to keep going up forever. Gold had its best year last year that it's had in over 40 years, right? Gold's at all-time high while inflation is at pretty much low, right? So I say all that to say that, again, we have to be patient. The macro is shaping up for things to be favorable. And once we have the Clarity Act passes, which if this is you guys' first time on the show, it puts a line in the sand on what makes a crypto token a commodity versus a security. That's going to enable institutions to know the rules to the game and start like putting their feet in the water. But until that happens, whether if it's a creator coin or RWA or whatever, I'm not really expecting crazy fireworks, but I do think they'll happen in Q1. And that's the good thing about DeFi. People are always trading back and forth. So the longer it is, I don't really care because it just gives us more time to accumulate high quality assets. So that's my stance on it.
I think that's a really solid read on the next few months. I mean, you said it many times on the show. Time in the market versus timing the market.
Yep.
And for the people that want to have a strategy, what to do in the sideways market, or even if it's like slowly bleeding down, it's like, well, I don't want to sell my tokens because Q1. I mean, that could be any time. It could be. I mean, we're in Q1. They can announce it next week. They can announce it in March. Who knows? But that's why way back when I really wanted to do this show with you to learn myself and then also help other people find yield pools that they can put some of the capital and get it working in these sideways markets.
Yep. Do we want to take a look at some yields and how everything's looking?
Yeah,
I'm willing to bet that Toshi pool is still running crazy. Let's see.
Yeah, dude. You should drop some alpha on us. Like, I mean, in fact, did you ever get into that Toshi pool?
I didn't, man. But if it's looking crazy today, I'm gonna get in this week, and next week I'll share my results.
Because it was like over 1,000 for like 3 weeks.
And no, it was for months, bro. Every time the past few shows, that thing's been just going crazy. So
I don't think it's accurate though. It can't be, because Toshi volume is not crazy high.
Yeah, my Zora pool went out of range again. That's crazy.
Same.
But the tipper is looking good. I've been in this thing for 93 days and been able to generate $4,000 in current prices. With things dropping, tipper is down like 50% from the highs or more, and ETH is down. And the good thing about this range is that when I originally got in it, it was like 21K. And what I do is I'll take my rewards. I'll use half to get back into the pool and half to compound into the pool. Another half I'll use to, buy whatever I want to buy. So the fact that it's going down, once it gets back up to where it was, I'll have way more than what I started with because I've been compounding. And this one, I just rebalanced this one last week, and 23 days ago. And this one's doing pretty well, almost $600. And again, the volume hasn't been good, but like Basejunkie said, time in the market versus trying to time the market. There's a few candles per year that really make the world a difference, and you just want to make sure you're in range when those happen, because when you're going to fish, can't control when the fish bite. You can only control the presence of the line. If you don't have your net in the water, you can't have anything to jump in once the schools of fish come swimming on by. So if we look at,
dude, speaking of Tibber and that happening, so I remember I was in Barcelona on this Euro trip, and I bought into the Tibber with LP, and Tibber was just slowly like just following the market, just sort of like just coming down to my bottom range. I had a range between 15 cents and like 21 cents, and I was just like, oh yeah, it's just yeah, at least it's generated fees, but we're getting close. We're gonna be out of range soon. But and I was away from computers, so I couldn't do anything. And then I just checked my phone, and I saw this like plus like 38% pump. I'm like,
Oh, you know what happened, man?
what was it?
Here, I'm gonna show you right now. Yeah, and I caught that pump too. And that's, you know what? I'm actually glad you brought that up, because this is a good example to kind of go through if my computer wants to stop moving so slow today. I need to like clean out my
Porn history.
no, not on this computer. Let's see here. Deck screen. Okay, so I'm gonna go to watch list. So the God candle that Basejunkie is referring to is this one right here. Yep.
Yeah. What even?
I'm gonna
I
show
was
you.
so shocked to see that.
I'm gonna tell you.
I actually went out of range on that day. Like I was like coming down to the bottom range, and I shot out of range on the other side. I'm like, what the heck? And then we just came right back in. But I was like, wow.
Yep. So guys, remember, time in the market versus trying to time the market. When you're in these liquidity pools, you're getting paid off of volume, right? And those are these candles right here. And you see, most of the candles are small like this. This time was a great time, but then they were down. But look at this red candle right here, right? That candle generated a lot of volume and fees, right? So I have my small net in here, and I just went over that pool that I've been in for like 23 days. So I caught some of the candle, but my wide net, it caught the whole thing, which is good. And it caught this whole thing and then this whole thing, right? So if we go to Twitter and we go to Ribbit Capital, because remember, Ribbit is Tibber spelled backwards. Look, Tibber, right? They released these videos. And that's what, after these videos came out, it was basically talking about like how companies connect, and basically what Tibber is supposed to be doing, like connecting the identity layer between all these Web 2 and Web 3 companies. And it pumped off of that news. So that's what happened. So a lot of people think that we're approaching the time where Mickey Malka and Ribbit Capital are about to announce their involvement with Tibber. So we'll see.
Wait, so Mickey Malkin is with Ribbit.
Yeah, he's basically the founder of Ribbit Capital. They invested into, he's one of the most legendary and iconic VCs in history, just because of he's had the Midas touch, man. He invested in Coinbase early, Ethereum early, ID.me, Brex, a lot of companies that we use, know, and love. And so yeah, it seems like just anything he touches turns to gold. And he hasn't announced his involvement publicly in Tibber, but he also invested into Robinhood early. And there are Tibber trusts on that you can verify on the SEC. And I went through all this in my Tibber fundamental analysis video, where he put like $10 million of his Robinhood shares in that trust. His wallet has interacted with the Tibber smart contract, like the contract address for the Tibber token. So it's just like, if you follow the breadcrumbs, it's undeniable. But I just think, and all the Ribbit Capital execs follow the Tibber page, so it's just like,
It's too obvious.
It's too obvious. But he just hasn't gone public with it yet. Stealth launch, probably better for regulation too. So I wouldn't be surprised if that announcement is made after the Clarity Act as well. So I'm just going to keep stacking Tibber.
And what do you think that will do to the price?
Oh, we're going up. And it don't matter if it's on a Tuesday. I don't know if y'all know that song, but yeah, I think it'll, if it pumped off of that little bit of news, Yeah, man. Like just the people that's following Tibber, a lot of Coinbase execs are following him too. Gary Vaynerchuk, Raoul Paul. Raoul Paul had him on his podcast and was like, "Hey, so what's up with this Tibber thing?" And he laughed like, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And Raoul Paul is like, "I don't believe you for a second." They just laughed. So it's just like, yeah. So
Yeah. Let's look at what other pools there are.
all right, cool.
Could be good.
All right, so we're on the base.
Because that Toshi one, it looks good on the headline, but when you dive in, it's like, okay, well, hang on.
Very risky. Yeah, you'd have to be in a very, very tight range. Very tight. So, all right. So, yeah, Toshi wrapped ETH is the top LP on base right now. Zora USDC on Pancake Swap. That pool's been playing out pretty well for a bit. Zora ETH on Pancake Swap.
When's the last time you've used Pancake Swap?
Years, man.
Same,
Years.
bro.
The liquidity is very small, 24K and 50K.
But that's a lot of volume going through there.
Yeah, where is that? Liquidity 24K. Yeah, that's very hefty volume. Very hefty.
What do you think that is?
The
Chinese?
Could
BNB
be.
users?
It could be. I can't say, but let me see where this one. Well, this is also a lower fee tier. So as a trader, I'm gonna go trade here versus going to Zora on where is that? Like Uniswap. You see, this is 0.3. This is 0.05. So even if you're using like swapping with the wallet or using like the smart order routing feature, and you're doing a bunch of small trades, it's going to route it to the Pancake Swap pools because you pay less. So that's why that's happening.
Okay, I'm curious, and I'm going to investigate this a bit more. I might dust off the. But the thing is, I only remember using Trust Wallet with Pancake Swap, and I know they had the Trust Wallet breach not too long ago.
Yeah, I never been a Trust Walleter.
Yeah, I might need to connect Rabby or something.
Yeah, Rabby's the way to go. Rabby or Phantom, or even MetaMask. Yeah, man, pretty small volume in crypto. It's humble times right now, but I mean, this still beats anything you can get even close to a bank account or any other kind of financial product.
Honestly, it's kind of hilarious. Like only 100%.
Yeah.
What times we're in.
Even ETHUSDC, you can get 60% on your ETH if you're on Base. If you're on all chains, yeah, Base is still the best way to go for ETHUSDC pools. 59% on Aerodrome. I'm not sure what the average range is for that, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of liquidity concentrated pretty wide for ETHUSDC because it's ETH. So yeah, man, pretty quiet times right now, but I think it's the calm before the storm.
Do you think so? If anybody's holding ETH and USDC, do you think it's worthwhile providing liquidity?
Yeah, I like to say I use 25 to 30% of my portfolio for providing liquidity because I want to have a bag of ETH that I'm sitting on so I can benefit from the price appreciation, but also want to have some money in the pool so that, as we go through a full year or 4 years without ETH seeing an all-time high, I can accumulate a lot more of it so that when it finally does go up, I have no idea when, you have more to sell. So it's always good to have things doing both so you can optimize for all market conditions.
All right, man. Well, dude, I think that's sage advice as always. My pools, I'm in a Tibber pool that's been paying out fine and not crazy. As you mentioned before, it's not a lot of volume happening right now. It says my current APR is 137%. So, I mean, nothing to sneeze at, but yeah, we DeFi.
I've never heard that, man. Man, y'all really talk different over in Europe. That's crazy. Nothing to sneeze at. It's crazy. Nah, but you're not lying though.
But I tell you, my Zora pool has not been blessed with flat waters. Well, listen, yeah, it's great to be back on live stream with you. Any final words before we call it a night?
Join our free community. Show up to the cohort. Learn the fundamentals. We do our DeFi challenge as well. So, hey, we're in the golden ages of DeFi where institutional liquidity isn't in, and we're waiting on, the most important piece of regulation. So that's all I would say. Hopefully, everyone's having a good start to 2026. I'm about to go take a walk into the snowy forest. I'll show you where I'm sitting in front of right now. Looking out.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a frozen lake across the street and it's snowing out. So we're going to go take a walk in the snowy forest and just enjoy the night.
All right, man. Well, dude, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, dude. Enjoy that. I'm gonna call it a night, and it's about 11:20 here p.m. But guys, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Embryo, amazing.
Embryo, we love you, Embryo. We love you so much. Thank you.
You're the reason why we do these shows. Yeah, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Thank you to those who reshared. Noah for dropping the insights, and the 152 viewers we have live. You guys could be anywhere this New Year's Day. Slow in the market, but hey, we aim to give you some educational value and some insights. Make sure you join the Owl Eyez community. There is the QR code on the top left of the screen. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay based.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.
Peace out.
All right, peace, dude.